Greetings, it is Lord Erlander from Lockhart, and today I would like to do a short video on fighting on my knees. Now, there are many different ways that we can approach this, and the one that we don't talk about as often is obviously to get onto your knees you need to be hit in the leg. Now, we don't often get given a position where we can get into a good sound position to start from. We need to get into that position, and we can use this to our advantage. So as we drop down to our knees, we can use the gravity of our force to power in a shot. So just because you're legged does not mean that you're out of the fight or the fight needs to pause. So as we go down, we can use this to pop a shot into someone's face, or we can come down, hide behind our shield, and pop a shot into their waist area. This can be a good way to make your opponent preoccupied with defense so that you have time to settle into your preferred guard or to address their threat. Another good one is if your opponent does, which a lot of them do, is throw the leg shot and then back out, get into a safe position, wait for you to set. Try this next time you're at training. When they hit your leg, use your momentum of going down to keep going forwards. Each time you take a step forward with your knee, you can use this to crunch just as if you were taking a step with your foot and throw shots. People are not used to a kneed opponent coming down and immediately chasing them down and throwing shots. Normally what they will do is they'll throw the leg shot, take 1 or 2 steps back in guard, and then they'll lower it. So if you can time it that you're down and you have come into a range where you can throw a shot from when they are just about to lower their defense, this can be a great way to pull your opponent off guard. Right, so now we're on our knees. We need to build our fortification. So how do we do this? For me, I am very conscious that a lot of people here in Lockhart especially, their main aim is to come in, tie up your weapon, and then wrap and throw deep. And I think this is a continuation for many kingdoms. So what we want our base position to actually be covering the side, because we don't want to be wasting time and energy moving our defense out wide again and then to bring it back in. So we want to start out wide. We want to have our sword protecting this side, and we want our shield protecting the back of our head. Now, if people are coming in close and throwing those wraps, it is it's not as easy for them to throw in here, and you can normally have time to bring your sword down. If you can bring your sword down into a defensive position, this will allow you time with your shield side and those wraps. And what you want to be doing is, as they block, follow them back up and strike them on that side. Now, what we always want to be doing from our fortification is we want to be looking, and we want to be looking towards their basket hilt. I find this helps me a lot. So if I'm up here, I want to be tracking where their basket hilt is, and if they're in close, likely they'll be trying to push on your shield or your sword to try and manipulate you into a position of weakness. What you can do is you can play sticky hand, and you can use this to your advantage. So if you know where their basket hilt is, you know where they're rotating from and where their power is likely to come from. So if they lift their basket hilt up, you can rise with it and tie them up. And now you've got all this freedom to move and throw shots deep. If you're looking up at your opponent, which you should be doing, if you can see their eyes, that means that their head is open, for they are worried about a low shot. So if you are able to throw a shot and you don't need to look down, if you can see no more eyes because they've raised this, use that opportunity to throw one round wrap. Now, this is one thing that most people don't do. Most people, they know how to do that segment of the fighting on their knees. They come in, they build their fortification, they're looking up, they're tracking, boom, 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 and then it becomes a waiting game. And eventually what happens is the person attacking finds their opening, and they will throw their shot, and you will die. What you need to be doing is you need to find where you are strongest and where you can throw most effectively, and you need to move. Most people don't move on their knees. This is something that you need to work on. Similar to the chasing blows, people will be taken off guard by this. So if someone hits your sword to come in and take control of it, when you recover it, take that step back with your knee and change the angle. Now you've got all this room to play with. And always keep this distance. So don't be afraid to move on your knees. And the good thing about moving on your knees is, yes, it might feel clunky at first, but that gives you a lot more power. So if I come to the side here, I can throw in short jab shots a lot faster and a lot heavier than I would normally be on my feet. I think this may just be a familiarity thing for me, because unfortunately through my time of trying to get good, I spent a lot of time down here. Power and tension. So always when you're moving, as if you're on your feet, you always want to be moving into a power of tension and power, so then you can throw into positions as well. Because if we're staying stagnant on our knees, we only have our limited chest rotation to get power and tension. Now this can be adequate at times, but it's not always advantageous because it is consistent. It's something that we are always doing. So what we want to be doing is moving into powers of position just as if we're on our feet and throwing shots. Now, pretty much the aim of this game is to cycle through from fortification down to this tension and movement. What we want to be doing is keeping that constant distance away, moving into powerful positions, throwing, just as if we were fighting on our feet. So next time that you go and fight on your knees at training, remember to throw a shot as you're going down. Chase if people are not used to keeping their guards up for long distance. Remember to build your fortification. Always look through and up at your opponent's eyes and around your basket hilt. And always move and create tension and distance as if you're on your feet. Thank you for listening. This has been Lord Erlander. I hope to see you in a future video.